Hello again, brothers and sisters. Today we're going to deal with part 2 of Israel, the black people scattered and cursed. Because according to Scripture, we read in part 1, and we proved through history and Scripture, that Israel is a black people. Today we're going to further identify Israel so that you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Israel is a black people that have been enslaved and cursed by God. If you look at black America today, or so-called black America, and look at the state of so-called black America, you will understand that there is something wrong with their condition. Alright? It's something peculiar about this condition. I'll give you some examples. When you look at every social, economic, and political area, African Americans, or the so-called African American, is at the bottom or at the top. He's at the bottom when it comes to good things, and he's at the top when it comes to bad things. For instance, I'll just read some statistics so we can touch upon the matter. This is according to the Civil Rights Project at Harvard University. Only 51% of African Americans graduate from high school. Okay, that was in 2001. It's about the same today. All right. When you look at prison, all right, even though we're roughly 13-14% of the population, we're over almost half of the population in prison. Okay, just look at the Department of Justice statistics; it'll tell you that. All right, AIDS, again, only 13-14% of the population, but in 2005, blacks accounted for 49% of HIV/AIDS diagnosis in the United States. Okay, of the new ones, 49%. And we're going to touch upon some other things too, wealth and employment. But it's no coincidence that our condition is like it is. And we have done all types of things to try to better our condition, except deal with the real solution. Okay, because we've tried to march, we've tried to take up arms, we've tried economic empowerment, and nothing seems to work. Now I understand that a small portion of Israel, because that's who black Americans are, the true Israelites, they're one part of a larger group, but they have tried to do many things to improve their condition. And you have a smaller group, you have the middle class, a small group of the middle class. You have your Oprah Winfrey's and your Michael Jordans. You have certain people that have prospered. But as a nation, as a people, the black masses are in a terrible, terrible condition. And it has not changed since we've been here. Since we have been in bondage in this country, it has not changed. Even though we don't wear shackles, we still wear economic and mental shackles. We still have not been redeemed for slavery. If you think about it, practically everyone that has had some wrong against him have been redeemed. Okay? You look at what's happened to the Native Americans. Okay? Their lands was taken, and they haven't been paid totally for what was done to them, but they have been paid somewhat in land reforms and reservations and money that has been given to them by the government. You look at Japanese internment during World War II. Okay, those people were that wrong was righted in some way. Okay, they were given money, reparations. Okay, but you look at the worst crime against humanity was the transatlantic slave trade. And blacks have received no reparations and have received nothing for it. And when it is brought up, a lot of times you get that response that says, well, hey, get over it. How are you going to get over the worst crime in humanity? But it's not even their fault, because it was prophesied of in Scripture. And see, if you want to learn about your condition as African American, male or female, you want to learn about your condition, you want to learn why your condition is what it is, you need to search the Scripture, because it's written right there. Not only does the Bible tell you who you are, it tells you who you are and who your God is and how to get out of your condition. And that's going to be part 3. But right now we're going to deal with the curses to truly identify who Israel is. Because again, if you didn't see it, check out part 1, because it shows that Israel is a black people. They're not white. Okay, they don't look Arab. They are black. Okay, you know that because many of the Israelites were mistaken for Egyptians, and the Egyptians, the true Egyptians, are black. Okay, remember Egypt is in Africa. Check that part out. But I want to start out here in Deuteronomy, the 21st chapter, in the 23rd verse, because I want to read something to you. Okay. Verse 22, it says, "And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God, that the land be not defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance." So we read here in the writings of Moses that those that are hanged on trees are cursed by God. Now think about it, brothers and sisters. Who in the United States has been hanged on trees wholesale? African Americans. Okay? More than any other group. It's no coincidence. That being hanged on a tree is a sign that they have been cursed by God. That we have been cursed by God. Okay? Let's go back in history. Okay? Now this is from the Atlas of the Bible. Okay, and they are taking this from the writings of Josephus. But let me read it. It says, "During the siege of Jerusalem by the Romans constructed a wall around the city, crucified anyone found trying to escape. During the siege, the Romans showed no mercy in crucifying as many as 500 Jews a day." See, brothers and sisters, that cross that you wear around your neck, that was a death tool. And it represents death today. Okay, you shouldn't wear it. Okay, and it is the way in which Romans killed people. But what was that cross made out of? It was made out of a tree. It was a sign of the curse upon Israel by God. Okay, and that at that point, that siege, that was the last time the Israelites were in the land, because all that were left were that did not die in that siege, were sold into slavery, or they escaped into Africa. Okay? Over 1 million escaped into Africa. Okay? And they settled amongst the Africans there. They dwelt as strangers among the Africans there. And they did this for many, many, many years. And then when it was time, or when that time approached to that transatlantic slave trade, hey, Africans in war, many times in wars, sold these people, because they would be susceptible to being sold, because they are strangers among those people. Okay, so they dwelt there in those lands in Africa. They went just right back up into Africa, right where they had came from before they went into the promised land, and was sold and scattered all over the globe. You got us in India, Iran, Iraq, still all over the countries in Africa. Okay, you look at the Yoruba Jews and the Beta Israel and the Limba, okay, and others. There are others, okay, even all over Europe, Spain, Italy. We're everywhere. United States, okay, South America, the Caribbean. We're everywhere. We were scattered everywhere. But that curse was upon us, okay. I want to read something to you here to show you the sign of the curse that was upon Israel. Okay, and again, that sign is being hanged on a tree. This was a study that was done by the Tuskegee Institute, okay, between 1882 and 1968. Okay, the Tuskegee Institute recorded 4,743 lynchings in the United States. During this lynching century, the hearts of many African Americans trembled as they lived in fear of being lynched. Okay, it was a common thing to hang a nigger on a tree. Okay, it was a common thing. We bore that sign of God's curse upon us. Okay, people would gather